This episode of the DSP project is brought to you by PMC Ultimate Speakers and Primacoustic. Take control of your room. Hello and welcome to the DSP project, your weekly fix of music production and technology. I'm your host Rupert Brown, and this is our final in the series on studio monitors. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about what we've done, talk about what's coming in the future outside of this series, give you a quick review on my PMCs that you see behind me, as well as we will of course be announcing the winner of the Primacoustic giveaway for some Broadway acoustic panels, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so a quick review of my new PMCs. I say new, I've had them for probably about 2 months now. They are the TB2S-AIIs. I'm guessing the II is supposed to be Roman numerals for two, A2s, I don't know. But that's how it's written anyway. I love them, they're great. So a couple of specific things I've noticed. First of all, with the dispersion, you get this really wide, like 180-degree wall of sound. That's not the right term to use, that's a bit cliche, but I think you know what I'm saying, where on other monitors, sort of the sound's kind of right here in front of you, but with the PMCs it kind of just opens right up, and it's really quite incredible compared to other monitors. I've used Genelecs for a while, and I think they, the Genelecs, while they do produce a good sound, I've personally found they had a very tight sweet spot, and as soon as you sort of move your head or get up and walk away, the treble kind of falls off completely. That was my experience anyway. So yeah, they're nice and powerful. I can crank them up. I have the gain settings at about halfway on them, and there's more than enough power there for me. Okay, so let's talk about the cabinet itself. You've got, it's pretty straightforward. You've got power going in via an IEC, which is like a normal kettle/jug lead. You've got a balanced audio, XLR is for the audio in. You've got on-off power switch on the top, and then attenuation for the gain. So you've got no RCA/unbalanced inputs. You've got no pass-through for a subwoofer. You've got no room adjustments or sort of any EQ adjustments. None of that fancy stuff. It's just a straightforward audio in and power, which is fine for me because I think it's a professional product. It's designed to be put in a properly treated room where you give it the signal that you want to hear out of it, and you don't really need to adjust any of that stuff. But if those extra bits are important to you, then you're not going to find them in this model. Okay, so talking about the sound, again, the big wide sound stage, but you can also feel like you get a real sense of depth, like a 3D-ness to the music. Now, I used to get frustrated when I'd hear other people talking about that kind of terminology, because I don't think it's not accurate. I don't know whether there is whether saying sort of 3D or depth to sound is an accurate description technically, but honestly that is what it sounds like. When I listen to some songs, I just notice sort of just more detail in some of the little background sounds, and you sort of get a feeling for what's at the very back, and sort of the soundstage back to forth becomes a lot clearer with using the PMCs over some other monitors that I've used before in the past. The bass, again, I've got enough extension that I can hear what's going on, which is nice. I've noticed with the transmission line, I can also turn it right down and listen to it quite quietly, and I can still hear all the detail, hear what the bass is doing, which is important. I have noticed that there seems to be a slight emphasis for me in the kind of in the bass range, probably around maybe between 100 and 200 hertz. It seems like stuff's maybe a little bit more punchy than I think it actually is, and I'm not sure if that's just because of my room or because I need to learn the speakers a bit more, but so far I've noticed that just a little bit, just the tiniest little bit seems slightly emphasized there. There are some other downsides that I've noticed. One is that these speakers have ruined some of my MP3s in my music collection, in the sense that they were kind of good enough before, and now when I listen to some music and I can really hear some of the some of the artifacts and just how crusty and flat some of the MP3 sound. So I'm having to reorganize my music collection as well and get rid of some of the old crap that I had. Well, my whole signal chain is kind of exposed, so I've had to rethink about my interface as well, because it's the sound as a whole, everything sounds a lot better, but when there's, again, when something's not right, something's wrong, it really does show it up. So, I mean, I guess that's a positive thing, but kind of can be kind of annoying on the other hand to go, oh great, maybe my interface actually isn't as good as I thought it was, or not good enough. All right, I think that probably concludes my review of the PMCs. Like I say, overall, I really do love them. There's a few things I've got to learn, and actually learning speakers, that's something that I don't think I really touched on. When you get a new pair of speakers, a new pair of monitors in, don't just start mixing on them straight away. I would suggest getting a lot of music that you know well, put it on and just listen. Spend a day just listening to music and really getting to know them and learn them. And that's how you'll find things, like I said, the slight bump that I'm hearing. Again, it could be as a result of my room, but at least now I know that bump's there. So when I mix something down, I can really listen for that and make sure that I can hear that bump in my sort of my kind of bass range as well. And then that way it will translate better when we move it onto other systems. So now that's enough of the jibber jabber. You're probably all just watching to find out who's won. Who has won the Primacoustic prize? The winner is, drumroll please. Fuck, I haven't written it down. Now for the winner of the Primacoustic panels, the moment you've all been waiting for. The winner is twitter.com/Dom Kane. Congratulations, Dom, if that is your real name. We will be sending out some acoustic panels to you wherever it is that you are lurking. I'll be in touch with you very shortly to tee that up. A big thank you for everyone else who entered the competition. Better luck next time. We will hopefully be teeing something else up to give away. I've got no idea what that is yet, but I'm sure we can find some very kind, nice manufacturer to give us something else cool to give away. Big thank you to Primacoustic for sponsoring the series, as well as giving us our prize. If you need acoustic treatment for your studio, and if you haven't got any, then you need some. Please check out Primacoustic. They do some stuff. It's very effective. It looks really nice, and it's affordable as well. So go check out what they've got. On the subject of sponsors, PMC, the professional monitor company, thank you very much for sponsoring the show. It really is appreciated. Thank you for giving me access to Peter Thomas. That was really interesting. I know he's a super busy guy. And if you are looking for a new pair of monitors, you want something professional, I'm not going to tell you to buy them, but I am going to tell you to go and listen to a pair. Try and audition them for yourself, because they really are awesome. You might not like them as much as I do, so that's why it's important that you go and listen to them first with any speaker. But you know, I've probably hit that home enough now at that point. And I also want to talk specifically about PMC's sponsorship with the show, because I think it's obviously going to look a bit dubious that they sponsor the show and then I'm reviewing one of their products. Basically, their sponsorship has given them their logo at the beginning of the show, as well as mention at the sponsors section at the end of each show of the series. It's no way enabled them to buy a better review. As well as the product itself, I picked it. I'd used the PMCs before. I knew it's what I wanted for the studio, and so I approached them, said, we're doing this show, do you want to come on board? And they were really cool and supportive about it as well. So I've tried to be as sort of unbiased with the review as I can. I've tried to speak about any faults or shortcomings the speaker has, as well as the reasons why it's so damn good as well. So hopefully that comes across as well, that I'm trying to be as transparent about that as I possibly can. I think that's about it for this week. Going forward in the coming episodes, I've had quite a lot of feedback in just the last week or two of people asking for more tutorials and more reviews. So we've done a lot of interviews this year. I'm going to sort of scale back the interviews, and we're going to focus on doing more reviews and tutorials. So thank you for hanging about if that's what you're after, and a big thank you for the feedback, for telling me what you want to see, because I really got no freaking idea until you tell me what you what you want to see covered. So if there is something else you want to see, head down to theDSPproject.com. Please leave a comment under this video, and also please subscribe. It really helps us out and is really appreciated. That is definitely all we've got time for this week though, kids. I'll see you next week.